It's English o'clock. Welcome to our English class. Today, we are going to talk about short story and its elements. But have you ever wondered what is short story? Let me tell you. A short story is a short work of fiction that can be read in one sitting. It has few characters, one setting, one main problem. It is also shorter than a novel, but it still has beginning, middle, and end. It also teaches us something or leave us with a lesson. In this video, we will learn about the elements of a short story, the important parts that makes it complete. We can use an acronym to easily remember it. We can say Kasepkot. Can you repeat that? Great. And what does Kasepkot means? CHA for characters, SE for setting, P for plot, CO for conflict, and T for theme. Now, let us explore the first element. It's the character. A character is a person, animal, or thing in a story that takes part in the action. They can be realistic, like a mother, friend, or teacher. Or it could also be imaginary, like superhero, dragon, or a talking dog. Characters show us their feelings, thoughts, and actions as the story happens. And did you know that characters have different types? Yes, authors use different kinds of characters to make their stories more interesting. Let's get to know them one by one. The types of characters are protagonists, antagonists, dynamic or round character, flat or static character, and finally, stock and stereotype character. First, we have the protagonist. This is the main character. They are the main or leading character of the story. The story usually focuses on them. He or she is the one who makes the key decision that affect the plot of the story. Next, we have the antagonist. This is the character who opposes or conflicts with the main character. Sometimes we call them the villain or the one who causes the problem. We also have the dynamic or round character. They are the characters in the story who change, accept changes, act, and view the changes as part of their role as human beings. For example, in Beauty and the Beast changes from being rude to becoming gentle and loving. That's why he is a dynamic character. Next, we have the flat character. They are the characters that do not change. They remain static or stagnant throughout the story. They stay the same from beginning to end. They usually show only one or two traits. For example, in many fairy tales, the Wicked Witch is a flat character. She is always evil with no other side to her personality. Lastly, we have the stereotype or stock character. They represent generic type of characters and can be easily recognized by the reader due to their predictable traits. They act exactly how you expect them to act. For example, the mean stepmother in fairy tales is a stereotype character. Why? because she is always strict, always cruel and unfair, just like most stepmothers in the stories. Now that we know the different types of characters in a story, it's time to see how well we can spot them in real examples. For our character game, you will just simply identify the character whether they are protagonists or antagonists. Here is our first character, Kamado Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Is he a protagonist or antagonist? Correct. Tanjiro is the protagonist because he is the main character and the hero of the story. Next, we have Pirena from Encantadia. Is she a protagonist or antagonist? That's right. Pirena is the antagonist because she causes problems for the main characters. And finally, we have Ricardo Dalisay, also known as Cardo, from FPJ's Ang Provinciano. Is he a protagonist or antagonist? Great! Ricardo Dalisay, or Cardo, is the protagonist, the hero of the story who fights for justice. Great job, class! Now, we will also play a game called Name That Character. I will read a short description of a character. Your task is to identify what type of character it is by choosing one of the following. Dynamic character, if the character changes in the story. Flat character, if the character stays the same. And stereotype character, if the character has a predictable role we often see in the story. For round 1, Moana started unsure of herself, but at the end she became a brave voyager who saved her people. Now, think about it. At the beginning, she was unsure, but later she changed. She became brave and confident. What kind of character is Moana? Very good. Moana is a dynamic character because she changes from being unsure to becoming a brave leader. Next, let's try another example. Every morning, a big boy in school waits by the gate. He laughs loudly and takes away the snacks of smaller students. In every school story, you can always find someone like him, the school bully. Now, what do you think is the type of character of this boy? Very good. He is a stereotype character because in almost all school stories, the bully is always the same: mean, loud, and unfair. We can already predict his actions. Great job, class. Now, let us think about it. In Private Benjamin, Vice Ganda's character is funny and showy from beginning to end. His main trait is making people laugh. Now think about it. Did Vice Ganda's character change from the start until the end of the movie? Correct. He stayed the same. Always funny, always showy, always making people laugh. So, what kind of character is he? Great! Vice Ganda in Private Benjamin is a flat character because he showed the same trait all throughout the story and does not change. Great! But how do we know what kind of character they are? That's where characterization comes in. Characterization is the way the author shows what a character is like. And it has two types. We have direct characterization and indirect characterization. For direct characterization, this is where the author explicitly tells the readers what they want us to know about the character by clearly stating details about him or her. On the other hand, the indirect characterization, this is where the author shows who the character is through their speech, thoughts, motivations, actions, and interactions with one another. Alright, class, let us watch the video carefully. The title of the movie is Up, and you have to pay attention to Russell, the little boy in the scene. Go get your notebook and your pen, and let us all take down note of how Russell talks, what he does, how he looks, and how other characters respond to him. After the clip, we will figure out what kind of person Russell is without anyone telling us directly.
Order now. You get the camera, you get the printer, 4x optical zoom, Schneider lens, photo printer, SD card.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell, and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54, Sweat Lodge 12. Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
No.
I could help you cross the street.
No.
I could help you cross your yard.
No.
I could help you cross your porch.
No.
Well, I gotta help you cross something.
No, I'm doing fine.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell, and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54.
Slow down.
Sweat Lodge 12.
Kid!
Are you in need of
Thank
any
you, but I don't need
assistance
any
today?
help.
Ow.
Proceed.
Good afternoon.
Let's skip to the end.
See these? These are my Wilderness Explorer badges. You may notice one is missing. This is my Assisting the Elderly badge. If I get it, I will become a senior Wilderness Explorer. The wilderness must be explored! Go, go! Roar! It's gonna be great. There's a big ceremony, and all the dads come, and they pin on our badges.
So, you want to assist an old person?
Yep, then I will be a senior Wilderness Explorer.
You ever heard of a snipe?
Snipe?
Bird. Beady eyes. Every night it sneaks in my yard and gobbles my poor azaleas. I'm elderly and infirm. I can't catch it. If only someone could help me.
Me! I'll do it!
Oh, I don't know. It's awfully crafty. You'd have to clap your hands 3 times to lure it in.
I'll find him, Mr. Fredrickson.
I think its burrow's 2 blocks down. If you
2
go
blocks
past-
down, got it! Snipe! Here, Snipey, Snipey.
Now, class, let us analyze the character of Russell using something called the Steele method. Steele helps us understand a character through speech, thoughts, effects on others, actions, and looks. First, think about what Russell says. Was he polite, rude, confident, or nervous? You're right. He talks politely and explains why he is there. This shows he is respectful and determined. Even when Carl is not interested, he keeps trying. That tells us that he is persistent and optimistic. Alright, now let us move to the T, which is thought. And even though we can't hear Russell's thoughts, What do you think he is thinking? Okay, he wants to make a friend and earn his merit badge. This shows that he really cares about helping others and doing the right thing. Okay, now how do other characters react to Russell? Of course, at first, Carl is really grumpy and, he ignores him. But slowly, Carl starts paying attention to Russell. That shows Russell has a positive effect on others because of his kindness and persistence. Next one is A, the action. What does Russell do or the actions he made in the scene? Okay, yes. He knocks on the door, he introduces himself, and he keeps trying to talk to Carl. Even though Carl is grumpy, Russell did not give up. His actions show that he is brave, persistent, and kind-hearted. Okay, next one and the last one is the L stands for looks. How does the character look? Okay, so what did you notice? Alright, his scout uniform is neat and his expressions show excitement and hope. This tells us that he is proud of his role and has a positive attitude. So, class, from all these clues, speech, thoughts, effects on others, actions, and looks, we learned a lot about Russell without anyone telling us directly. Again, this is what we call indirect characterization. Okay, you have to remember character is the person, animal, or thing in the story. And characterization is how the author shows us what they are like through words, action, thoughts, feelings, looks, and what others say. Now, let us practice. I'll show you another character and you will use steal method to figure out what kind of person they are. Are you ready? Alright. So, here is the instructions. Read the sentence, then tell me what does it show or tell about the character. Alright, let's try it. For round 1, the children laughed and played in the sun until they were as thin as the farmer's chickens. Now, let us think. What does this tell us about the children? Do you think they are letter A, the children are joyful and carefree? Or letter B, the children are gloomy and depressed? Yes, you're correct. The answer is A, joyful and free. Why? Because the words laughed and played in the sun show that the children are happy and full of energy. Okay, great job. Now, let us read the next item. Father went to the rich man's house and bowed politely. Let us think. What does this sentence tell us about the father? Here are our choices. A, the father is rude, or B, the father is respectful. What do you think is the correct answer? That's right. The answer is B, the father is respectful. Why? Because the word bowed politely shows that the character or the father is showing good manners and respect. See, by carefully looking at the actions in the sentence, we can understand the character better. Okay. And lastly, the rich man complained that the children stole the spirit of his wealth. Let us think about it. If the rich man is complaining about the children enjoying life and being happy, what does that show about him? Our choices: A. The rich man is greedy and selfish, or B. The rich man is generous and selfless. Hmm. Okay, you're correct. The answer is A. The rich man is greedy and selfish. Why? Because instead of being happy for the children, he feels like something was taken away from him. That shows he is not generous but selfish. Good job, class. You really did an amazing job in answering and sharing your ideas about character and characterization. You were able to look closely at the sentences and figure out what kind of person the characters are. That shows you are thinking deeply and carefully. Congratulations! Now, let us move forward to another important element of a short story, and that is the setting. Setting is the time and place where and when the story happens. It actions the question when and where. The setting can be a place. It could be a house, a forest, a school, or a city, even another planet. It could also be time, whether it's morning or night, past or present, even the future. Now, the setting is important because it helps us imagine the story better and understand the character's situation. Let us now try to practice what we learned. I will read a short passage and I want you to listen carefully. After that, we will identify the setting of the story. Are you ready? Okay, let's try it. The first one is: it was early morning in a small fishing village. The waves were calm and the fishermen were preparing their boats, while the children played on the sandy shore. The first question: where does the story happen? Great. The story happens in a small fishing village or by the shore. Second question: when did it happen? Correct. The story happens in the early morning. All right, great. Excellent, class. See, finding the setting is easy. You just look for clues in the passage to tell us time and place. Okay. Next item. Let's practice one more time. Remember, we are finding the setting, the time and place of the story. At night, the stars twinkled as the cars drove through the quiet provincial road. The passengers were sleepy. Now, question: where does the story happen? Very good. The story happens on a provincial road. Next question: when did it happen? Correct. It happens at night. Excellent. Did you notice the clues? The passage mentioned provincial road. That tells us a place. It also said at night and stars twinkled. That tells us the time. See how easy it is? Just look for the words that give you hints about the setting. Great job for today, class. We already learned what a character is, what the setting is, and we even know how to describe characters using characterization. You all did amazing in answering and spotting the examples. Now that we understand these parts, it's time to move forward to the next element of a short story. So make sure to follow along in our next video. Don't forget to like this video, follow and subscribe so you won't miss your next lesson. See you there!